Here is a video review for Transformers Legacy United Leader Class TIGERHAWK. And I love him. I love TIGERHAWK. I like him as a character. I like the old toy. I like the new toy. Even though he only showed up in the Beast Wars show for I think the last 3 episodes. He was cool. He had a really cool design. And we've got a more, at least in robot mode, a more show-accurate color scheme and look to him, even though the original toy was actually pretty nice. And speaking of the original toy, here is the new Leader Class one. Look all around with the old school one with all the spring-loaded gimmicks. Now, he has no spring-loaded gimmicks. All of the missiles and guns and functionality, and honestly, even the transformation is almost identical on the new one, with a couple of exceptions for some of the missing gimmicks. One of the things I do like, I really love on the old one that is not present on the new one, is the spring-loaded back claws. I love that he had those little, you have him grab pencils and stuff with his back claws, with his little trigger button down here. They give him a kind of a tech headband here, but they don't give him the full Battle Cat type mask that the original toy had. Now on the plus side, it allows his head to face a more natural position. You can see with the cowl fully, or the helmet fully stowed, it kind of forces the tiger head on the original down a bit. You can kind of half deploy it and get a better range of motion there on the tiger head. And then he actually has a movable tongue. This new one does not, has an opening jaw, but not a movable tongue inside there. But then you kind of see what's going on there. You can, of course, fully deploy the helmet. And I thought that looked cool. It's not necessary. I don't know if he used it in the show, maybe in one scene. But it was just a neat little gimmick that I always liked on the original, missing from this one. The lack of spring-loaded gimmicks is nice. I generally take all the missiles out on him. There used to be a gimmick where if you lower the wings, they'd slam down and like the missile launchers would flip and fire automatically. These ones on the wings, because the little trigger button is underneath here, so when it would flip around automatically and slam, it would shoot a missile. I generally take the missiles out when I transform him because they are very easy to trigger and they like to go all over the place. But not an issue with the new one. The new one's got, but a lot of the same posability. It's got ratcheting shoulders there at the tiger shoulder, a little hinge there, clawed feet, hinged feet, and they actually have a rotation there as well. Like I said, his mouth does open, although no movable tongue. And he's got a little bit of range of motion. If you want him to look straight down like the old toy, you can. But you can see the same basic transformation. He's got a different piece here. This piece I don't like. It pops off a lot because it's just friction pinned up here. It's up here. We'll talk about that later. But he's got the same, like, the feet fold up onto the chest the same way, the same double-barreled gun here, a fist sticking out his butt. This flips up. The head's tucked away in here. It's got the same rotational column in the torso. Like it's really neat how much they matched the original toy and yet made him look in robot mode a little bit more accurate to the cartoon. And I think that's really cool. But yeah, the wings are hinged here. There's a indent, so it stops there, there, or there. And then these can flip forward and angle back like that. These can also, again, they're not spring-loaded. The old toy, they were either here or you unloaded the spring and they were facing completely forward. Here you've got the full range of however you want to spread the wings here. You can. You want to bring them up like that, or just angle them up from down here. At any angle, front to back, you can do that. You can flip out the guns. Manually, they kind of snap into place in the 2 positions, but they don't automatically fire missiles, so that's nice. These wing feathers that were missiles on the original toy do unpeg. They don't fire as missiles, but they peg on, and you can have him hold those as weapons as well. But you've got, posability-wise, you've got a ball joint there at the back leg, a hinge there, then a hinge at the foot. You got the ratcheting shoulders and then it clicks out. There's one click, it'll lock into place like that, and then once you unpeg it or unclip it, it free moves here. There is a swivel here, although in this mode it's kind of blocked by this piece. We already looked at the elbows and the hinge. Like the head doesn't rotate, but it does look up and down, and the mouth can open. And then, like I said, the wings have what you saw. So yeah, there he is, all flying and ready to blow somebody up. And as mentioned, this transformation is very similar to the old school toy, with less fear of popping out a missile. So snap that back into place. Snap that back into place. Go ahead and, just like on the old toy, kind of lift the wings out of the way. They're just going to kind of sit there while we do a lot of stuff here in the core of the body. So we're going to pop these shoulders off of here, like that. And then these pieces, you can go ahead and unpeg the hand from up here. You don't want to unpeg the hand from the butt yet. This, like I said, this piece right here, it's just friction pegged onto the two ends of this gold piece. And it's very easy to pop it loose if you don't support this whole structure when you're rotating it and moving it around. So just be aware of that. But I like how it still gives them the green dot, although not as large as the original toy. These panels, you really got to make sure that this arm inside here clips all the way up into place, because otherwise getting these panels together in beast mode can be a pain, because they snap together up here, but then there's also a little tab here on the arm that goes into each side. And if you don't have this arm, if you don't actually clip it, it should click into place and be flush. This piece right here should be flush against this. And if you don't feel it click into place, these aren't going to line up properly. So just be aware of that when you're transforming it to beast mode. These panels come up and around like this. Also, unlike the original toy, where it was very easy to get your finger in there to get it. Oh, I did it. Normally I would have to get a prying tool. I guess you gotta really get up in there to get the grip on the top of his head, because there's no real easy piece to latch onto, and it can get stuck in there really, really badly. But lift his head up, rotate it around. But you can see here what I'm talking about. The arms come up, they rotate around the same core, same kind of core here. This piece is going to come up like this. I'm going to put the legs out to the side here, and the arms come up like this. These pieces come down to form the lower waist, and they snap together on their own. You don't have to peg this tail piece in to lock them together like you did on the original toy. Go ahead and fold the claws back up into the leg and flip out the heel pieces on each side. And then, oh no, that can happen. Again, friction peg, this piston should stay attached to the foot like that. Well, that one's come loose again. That's not good. Anyway, and then fold this piece down onto the lower leg like that. Hey, what the? Well, there we go. No, it's fine. And then flip it down like that. And then fold that piece down. These pieces come, you kind of swap the positions of the back legs and these chest pieces, which are going to come up, and they're going to tab in to the side of the torso here. And the arms come down. There's a little panel here on the tiger head. He does also rotate forward to get out of the way of the arm, but there's also a panel here to allow for more outward arm motion. Just, you can leave it flat, just kind of unpeg, just so you've got that, it's already loose when you need it. Flip out the fists, and the fists actually do have a little bit of a texture there that you can flip them out easily. And this arm down here, and then the instructions say to take this off during transformation, but you can totally leave it on. It's a little separate gun. It's not molded into the hand like on the original. This comes back like this and then kind of sits behind the head like that. The claws come up over the shoulders. And when you do this, there is a tab here on the claw. It's easy to miss that slots into this clip here on the white torso piece. So you want to make sure that that snaps in. You have to fold the claw back a little bit or it won't be easy to, you just snap it right in there. Why aren't you? Okay, there we go. So it doesn't matter. There we go. Snap that in and then you can fold them. Oh, actually, take that back. Before you snap that in, you bring this up because the peg holes, you'll know you got this right. These little pegs here go into the, there's a peg hole on the inside of this joint here. So you want to push this up and make sure that those are pegged into place on the back. And that'll help line these up a little better for snap in right here. Like that. And then the wings, again, you can just position however you want. And there he is in a fantastic robot mode. Like, the colors are more accurate to the show. He does have some like goldish yellow painted eyes under that green visor. He's got wrist swivel. Does he have wrist swivel? I thought he did. No, he doesn't. There's one toy that I thought did not have wrist swivel that did, and I thought it was him, but apparently it does not. But yeah, there he is. Very cool. He's got a ball jointed head that can look around. He's got dual hinged shoulders. Again, you've got that. If you want his arm to come out wider than that, there's a little flap there. Also, the way that hinge works, you can bring it out. Bicep swivel, hinged elbows. This piece also lifts up to allow for outer arm movement. He's got a waist swivel under the feathers. It's the same ratcheting hips as before. Hinge knees, a little bit of foot swivel, or not a lot of ankle tilt, and a little bit of front to back on the feet with those pistons. The wings, again, you can position however you want. If you want to have them up like that, you can. He's got his little double-barreled gun, and like I said, you can take the feathers off, and he can hold them as like feather blades, I guess. You can also, the guns back here, you can also, if you want to display them popped up, you can. I think you want to have that this way. But they also, you can also pop them off. There's a peg there, so you can also hold them as handguns as well. So however you want to pose them, like the options are there. I like to have his wings folded down just for fitting him on the shelf, but you can do it however. And like I said, if you want to pop you can rotate the guns up over his shoulder as well. Have them snap into place if you want to have those facing up. However you want to do it. Bring this up a little bit so you can see the tips of the guns. And then just real quick, here he is with his original counterpart. And you can see he's a little bit more proportional overall, a more accurate to the show color scheme, more of the purple than the metallic blue. I can't remember if there was a running change on the original that ended up being more purple. I know there were some running changes on some of the earlier figures. But yeah, really, I mean, there's some hollow bits that I wish weren't there. What can you do? But all in all, just a fantastic representation of TIGERHAWK, and I'm super stoked to have him on the shelf here. Silverbolt's coming, and I think once Silverbolt's out, while we won't have every version of every character, like we haven't gotten all the Transmetals yet, once Silverbolt's out, if they just do Depth Charge, Rampage, and Quick Strike, I think we'll have all the show characters, which would be cool. So if you're listening, Hasbro, and you're not already working on them, maybe at least give us Rampage. Come on, give us a new Rampage. I would love a functional, cool, updated take on Rampage. And Depth Charge and Quick Strike. But I really hope we get Rampage at some point. But those three are the last three are left. I'm looking forward to Silverbolt to put on the shelf as well. But anyway, there is Legacy United Leader Class TIGERHAWK.